of a Cat Mom. How to get a cat in a carrier. Welcome to Diary of a Cat Mom. I remember I just started being a cat mom as I adopted Sheba, my first cat, my little beautiful Russian blue. And I brought her home in this cardstock carrier from the cat rescue. So I didn't think of it a lot. And then at home, she was cuddly and a lab cat, and I loved it. So the first time I had to bring her to the vet to get her shots, I thought easy peasy, like what's the big thing of putting a cat in a cat carrier? So I bought a regular size carrier, and they told you pick up the cat and you put it from the front in the carrier. And I can do that. It's not a big thing. So I put a little blankie in the carrier and I brought the carrier into the living room. Sheba saw the carrier and she was gone. Just ran. And oh my God, I thought it only takes a few minutes and I have to leave to go to the bed. So I followed her and looked where she was, and she was right in the middle of the bed. And Sheba, come out, come out. And I got her treats and I got her little toys, whatever she wanted. Nope, she didn't want to come out. Then I crawled underneath the bed to get her out, and I could get her out, but I didn't realize how I should hold her to get her into the cat carrier. So I had her and I opened the cat carrier. I don't know if you ever used the front loader for a cat. You open the door and you try with one hand holding the cat and with the other hand holding the door open to put the cat in. It was impossible. So at the end, I had to ask my partner to help me, that he would hold the front loader and like hold it vertical like that. And then we could slip Sheba getting in. But by the time then, she was so stressed out and she was hissing and anxious totally. And then everything in the cat carrier, like all the plankies and everything, were all in the bottom part then. I drove to the vet with her and she was crying the whole way. And it only was she anxious and stressed out. I was anxious and stressed out. And that was my first experience where I thought, never ever again in this way. So then I got bigger cat carrier, and the cat carrier had front to load in, but also a top to load in. And by the time then I had Snow White. Snow White is like this tiny little cat, but I thought, no, then she has enough space, right? And when we go to the bed, she can really sit in this carrier and she has enough room for her toys and everything. The mistake I made again, I brought the carrier into the room. She saw the carrier and she hid in the bathroom. And so wherever I tried to get her, she ran away. So at the end, I caught her, but it took me like half an hour to get her. And no, that's not working. And so at the end, what should not be a big thing became something what really traumatized me and the kitties whenever we had to leave the house to go for the vet. Then I thought, oh my God, in case of an emergency, like there's no way if I have to leave in a few minutes that I can catch the kitties quick enough if I'm not changing the way how I'm approaching it. And what I realized is the more I got stressed out, the more the cats got stressed out. What should only take like a few minutes took half an hour to get them inside the carrier. Now these days, before I start getting any cat ready, I start getting the cat carrier ready. I put a pee pad in the bottom because some of my cats, they like to pee. So in this way, it absorbs it in the bottom. And yeah, perhaps the towel on top is wet, but I have another towel, so I can exchange it at the vet if I have to. And then I put the clean towel on top of it, and I put a little comfy, cuddly blankie so they can use it to hide, or they can use it to suck on it for self-calming. But the other thing for sure I do before I do pick up the cat is I ground myself. I do tummy breathing. I do Kabbalah. What a pleasure that I can do this, because I want to bring them to the vet. I want that they stay healthy and that they stay in the best way, protected and taken care of. And I focus on the goal. My goal is to drive with a calm cat to the vet, and I want to stay calm too. So really having the ready to go carrier in a separate room where no cat can see it really helps not only not to upset the cat who has to go to the bed with me, but also not to upset any other cat who sees it, because they know when mama is in a rush and get the carrier ready, one of them is leaving with me. So when I have the cat carrier ready and have grounded myself, then schwubbel-de-wubble, I bring the cat carrier from the separate room right on the edge that I easily can get to it, but nobody sees it. I go, pick up the kitty who has to go to the bed, like hold in my arm that it feels safe. The top is already open on the carrier. And I go with the kitty, and I let the kitty like slip into the top of the carrier, because that really helps to avoid making the kitty anxious, and that the kitty feel like I try to get her into something she doesn't want to. This way, she just naturally slides into the carrier. And normally with the soothing blankie, or perhaps I put catnip on, or toys, they have a much more comforting feeling of feeling safe and feeling taken care of. Because at the end, it's all about creating and maintaining a peaceful and calm environment wherever we are, and creating life quality for our cats, but also for ourselves too. Do you have any tips on how make that easier to get your cat into the carrier? I would love to hear them. Please share. Thank you for joining me in this episode of Diary of a Cat Mom. There's always another little story, another lesson, another message right around the corner ready to be shared. Please watch the next video above, and I see you in my next entry. Diary of a Cat Mom.